You've defeated Lavarian. You've made a deal with the dragon. You have managed to free the outer world and the inner world from slavery and Lavarian. What's next? So what we're going to do now is we're going to just sort of narratively talk through what happens for everyone. What happens for the world inside and outside? What does life look like after this grand adventure is over?
Oh, wait, we're not role-playing the end of this encounter?
It's over. We already decided. You made a deal with the dragon, and we're going to see how that goes.
We wait a month for the thing to open up, and we teleport out at World. Or you guys could stay in World 3. I don't know what y'all are doing.
I don't want to do this.
I mean, Tara's going to look for her family, for Finn's family, anyone who's still in, not in arrival anymore, but she's got a month. She's going to be searching for her loved ones who she hasn't seen in a long time and who haven't seen her in even longer.
Yeah, so I think probably a lot of Tara's family has moved out of the city. A lot of people have moved out of the city. Once you defeated Lavarian and the dragon, the goblins all just spread to different directions and disappear. But it's pretty easy to get folks to come back to the city. I assume you're probably able to start their business back up again. I think your parents are probably both still alive, right? What do you think?
That would be my hope. I don't know how many years it's been because there's been multiple fast forwards in the world.
Let's say it's a little longer than you expected. It's been more like 12 years.
All right. So they're older.
Yep.
Even older, but that's fine. And you know, she's going to look for Finn's family, Finn's sister, all the household guards of her family, just lots of people she hasn't seen in a long time, and welcome them and hug them. Although she's a little apprehensive at first because she's not sure how they feel about her breaking the jar.
Sure. Right. There's a lot of misinformation about what exactly happened there. And it takes, I think, the effort of Tara and a bunch of other people to explain what happened and what's going on outside and what this jar world really is. And that takes a lot.
I could do poems and concerts and...
Yeah, you could do some publicity events to try to explain things. Maybe you write a book. I don't know.
We're definitely going to pull down that statue of Lavarian. That's not staying.
Yes. Yeah. And the dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, the dragon, you can no longer have a statue. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, nope.
And the obelisk against the people that ruined the soul jar, I don't want that either, really.
Okay. All right, they'll put a new engraving on it that says about how wonderful the heroes, the Glass Guardians are.
I mean, that, you know, I can make a persuasion of that. Did I persuade people that is what happened and is accurate?
All right. If you want to do a persuasion roll to see how effective you are at persuading the world.
Definitely want my bonus. It's a 19.
Okay, so there are some doubters, but most people go along with it.
It looks funny when the obelisk is scratched out and just below it.
No, it was actually cool.
No, that's not what happened.
How well do the performances go?
Do a performance check.
Not a great roll, but let's see what the bonus is.
Did you use your inspiration from Coral?
I did. I used it in the fight. 15 plus 9.
Hold on,
24.
I have an advantage on persuasion. I should have done it twice.
I think you have advantage if you use the locket, right?
No, it just... I have advantage, right?
Click on the A and it'll tell you why.
I don't know. It just says I can't. Oh, once per long rest item. Okay.
Yeah, you could use that. And then you have to talk for 2 minutes continuously afterward.
I can do that narratively.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So roll with advantage then. Roll your second roll.
Oh my God, it was the same thing.
Oh.
I rolled a 5 and another 5, but I got a plus 14.
I knew it had to have been a roll for you to only be at a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Astra's performances go really well, and Tara explains to everybody what really happened for 2 minutes. Go.
Okay, so what happened was we're trapped in this world, okay? There are gods outside, like the gods are real, and this world, the glass walls traps us all in, and so all the souls, when we broke the jar, they lifted the top of the jar, and so all the souls escaped, and a lot of us escaped, and so we went, and we met gods, and so... Anyway, really, we all have the option to leave this place and go into the bigger world. And things are getting better there. I mean, they were having the same problem with magic that we were, but like there's there's like solutions happening, so it's getting better, but a lot of it's water right now, a lot of ocean. But if you want to go into the world, there's a whole world and it's crazy. Like you see that dragon, there are apparently dragons out there. And some dragon-like creatures, like faces. They're big. There's small ones.
1 minute left.
And there's vampires. I still don't know what a vampire is. They're creepy. There's like weird insect people. Okay, the world is a little scary outside of the jar. But you can go if you want to. Oh, and if not, then we're going to do what we can to keep the jar safe for the people that want to stay in the jar.
Okay, keep going. 20 seconds left.
Oh, gosh. Sorry. But anyway, that happened, and there's tons of people who went with me, and they'll agree that that's what happened. And also, in a month, we're going to take the top off the jar again, and you're going to see how real it is. And if you want real proof, in a month you can leave. Then I'm exhausted.
All right. People seem mostly persuaded. And over time, what do you think? Do you think people would sort of enter and leave the jar freely?
Wasn't that one of our concerns?
Not after all those warnings.
Here's this terrible thing. Here's that terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, the world is a little scary outside of the jar. Tara still feels that's true, but I don't think Tara's going to ultimately want to stay in the jar.
Yeah, okay. So Tara wants to stay outside. Do you think that the jar's lid is left off, or do you think it's sort of opened and closed periodically? Like every month we open it for a day. If you want to get out, there's your chance.
I don't see a benefit in leaving it off, but there might be other opinions, and I don't think Tara's the deciding factor. I think it's like, there's multiple counselors, right? There's an emperor, there's people in Arrival, there's people in the Great Forest.
The Iron
They're
Empire.
all going to have different opinions, and like they all kind of have a say. All the ones that actually want to stay.
Yeah.
And if there was a tyrant with Lavarian, wouldn't the Iron Empire be kind of tyrannical?
Well, the Iron Empire is currently sort of ruled by a lumpen. So I don't know how that's going. What do you think?
Probably not great.
Are you sure? It could be going really well.
Could be going really well. I'm not sure.
I forgot all the Lumpens went in and took on the Empire. That's right.
Yeah, it's currently Hempen Lumpen, I think, is sort of in charge.
Do lumpens live forever?
You don't know since you haven't tested that hypothesis yet. You'd have to wait for forever to happen to find out.
Forever to happen.
I guess Coral can find out.
What about the sustainability?
Oh, wait.
What about the Mun problem? Mun stated there like the sustainability of keeping these jars active.
That is a problem, but as long as there's somebody doing maintenance, I think it's not so much a problem. Like, if there's somebody out there to keep the rivers running and everything, it's fine. But we didn't have anybody out there keeping rivers running, so that's when it broke down.
The benefit also of leaving the top of the jar open is if they recognize a problem, they can leave, fix it, go back to the home.
What if demonic and evil forces want to enter the jar?
That would happen out in the outside world as well.
This is true. They just have to deal with new things, new experiences.
So what does Zartok do?
In the jar?
Just in general. I mean, now it's over. He can do what he wants to do. What does he do?
Okay. Do we want Zartok's whole ending scene?
Sure. What does Zartok do?
Okay. First of all, Zartok gets the heck out of this jar once they can leave.
Sure.
He's not hanging out.
Yeah.
It's not even that cool. He's not sure what the big deal was the whole time. He gets out and he gets in that Fang Spelljammer.
Oh, yeah.
He takes that up into the atmosphere.
Do you take like Silver Eye and...
No, he takes nobody.
Oh.
He's up there by
This seems
himself.
right.
And
Are you about to blow up your ship?
Oh my gosh.
Like, just in some blaze of glory thing?
Fire all your guns at once and explode into space?
That's hardcore emo. Let's step down one level from blowing yourself up in space.
Okay.
So he goes up in the atmosphere and he's staring down at Jebberorb. He takes it's a piece of metal, looks like maybe an earring that's bent up, and he just drops it and he watches it fall through the atmosphere, flames up, it burns up. Maybe some kids are down there looking at the shooting star for a second. Then he gets back in the Fang and drives to the end of the crystal sphere and waits for an opening to open up. And he's about to drive out into the phlogiston. What's that called?
Phlogiston.
He's about to drive out into space.
Uh-huh.
And then he kind of he takes a deep breath. He's about to drive out there. Zartok takes a deep breath. And then he turns it around. Flies it back to Jebberorb. Lands it back down in Benorthen. Walks down the stairs all the way to see his old friend, the Necromancer.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Hey, what you think about starting this up again?" And then that's Zartok's ending.
Wow.
Starting
That's a cool
what
ending.
up again?
The wizard.
The research
wizarding
complex.
Oh, dang it. But that's where Tara wants to build her mansion. Because she needs to keep the world safe. So we're going to, I get the upper crust, you get the lower part.
Zartok would be in the divination part of the wizard
makes sense.
complex. That's his new home.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So Tara's up in the security
I'll
area.
take the security area. We're taking care of the worlds that it still exists.
Awesome.
You're not doing the research part, right? The world research part.
We're not caring about your worlds.
Okay, good.
We're busy, we're going to have to find some new head wizards. Is the lady dead? The one that was on, I forget what
The
floor she
ancient
was
one?
on. We just barely
the
keeping
Enchantment
her
and
alive.
Charms lady?
Yeah, how's she doing?
I think she's still around.
So, we've got to recruit a new evocation one and all that kind of stuff.
Do you get the frost wand?
What do we do? Hold on. What do we do with the frost wand?
Mama Sass doesn't care. You guys do what you want.
I mean, Tara's not going to touch it. What's she
Yeah.
going to do with that thing? So
Well,
it
yes.
feel like it belongs in the
taking
wizard
it-
complex.
Yeah, you taking it seems like the logical.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I wouldn't
So
want that.
Zartok's got it in his office in the divination.
Unless
And
Papa
he's-
Gaston swiped it.
That is actually a better. I didn't have a good idea for Gaston, but I don't think Gaston doesn't really care about that thing. So Zartok's got it in his office, and he's like, "This is where it should have been from the beginning. Should have given me the one first. Would have stopped all this trouble. Would have been done." Okay, but anyway, so that's Zartok's Forever After. He thought about leaving, but then he didn't.
Cool.
He stayed.
He heard in his mind as he turned back around, "I'm so proud of you."
Oh
And then his mouth opened.
He hits the gas.
Tara's going to visit him too. He's going to be annoyed by friendship for the rest of his life.
Well, he secretly likes it.
And what about Papa Gaston? Is he going to stay in World 83, you think?
Oh my gosh, what does Gaston do? Okay.
And Mama Sass at the same time. I mean, the two of them sort of go together. I mean, Mama Sass kind of hates him, but at the same time,
They need each other.
Do you want to hear mine first? If
Sure.
you're not sure about Gaston?
Let's hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do yours.
So the way I see it, as some people come out of the jar and end up settling in Benorthen, like taking over the town there. Mama Sass opens up a nice little tavern. It's called the Guardian of the Glasses.
Oh, that's cute.
Awesome.
On the sign, there's a picture of an orc with an axe standing in front of rows of glasses, like the cups. And yeah, she
It's happening inside too, not just on the sign.
no, she still carries around her axe all the time.
So are you a competitor to Epilima's whole?
I was thinking they ship ale to her.
Yeah, like they send ale out to us, and every now and then we'll send them something unique into the jar for them to sell. And we're working together. While we were in the jar, I think she went to visit Epilima and Athelflad. And yeah, she sows some oats and then settles down with some nice being. I haven't really thought that far.
Ooh, maybe do Dragonborns exist in the outside world now? Did we ever bump into one? That could have been a cool.
Yeah, we saw Dragonborn. I think I don't know.
I don't remember.
Wasn't he really racist? The Dragonborn. There was a really racist Dragonborn in that Runthrak.
Wrong
There we go.
track? Yeah.
I mean, she for sure makes some trips to Ronkthrak and has some friends there, but mostly she's in Benorthen.
So then what does
Running her
Papa
tavern.
Gaston do then? Does he hang out at Mama Sass's tavern, or does he go back to serving in the council and rebuilding arrival, or what is he going to do?
So all his human friends are kind of older now and care about their cholesterol and blood pressure, and they're really kind of lame. So that first month there, he just realizes that, they're all older now, and he's going to outlive them. And with his liver, he needs to leave. So I think once you've escaped the jar, like, why would you?
It's hard to stay put in there.
Why would you go back?
Yeah.
I know that halflings from the Lord of the Rings experience have like that,
Yeah, not all of them are the same, though.
And he feels guilty because he was not a good person in the jar. He was not super evil, but probably evil leaning, right? I mean, you're just stealing stuff.
Just real selfish.
There was definitely some problematicness in there.
He became more humble and more heroic.
So he's got this 10,000 gold. He's got to do something good with it to not end up in wherever Aster went. So he's got to reverse that. So that's his dilemma. He's been wrestling with this the whole time. He was asking about, starting an orphanage, that sort of stuff. He really looks up to Aster, even though Aster's his son. Could he start with his 10,000 gold, like some sort of heroes guild? And you guys can help me come up with a name. Like, I got an AI suggestion, so let's not go with this exactly. So I've got Aster's accomplished altruists. So that's all, like, good deed heroes guild.
Yeah.
Other ideas could be something about like Aster's School of Heroic Exchange or
Like
something like that. But anyway, that's the general idea: is that Gaston feels very guilty. And he's got work to do, and he knows that. So he's using his wealth to try to not go to hell when he dies.
Where's he going to put the school?
Yeah.
So he really likes Ronthrak, so he's thinking about that. But now everyone's hanging out in Benorthen now. So he also wants to see where. I think it kind of depends where Aster ends up. So that would depend on Aster's ending. So maybe Benorthen? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Benorthen at the moment because it seems like
It sounds like Benorthen's going to be busy.
This is hard because everybody said their endings and are in different locations. So throughout this campaign,
Not in the same location.
Yeah. Well,
I guess you guys are in the same.
We're all in Benorthen right now.
we're all in Benorthen as of now.
That's right. So I guess I'm the one who. So okay, let me tell the story. So throughout this campaign, Aster has wanted to be able to make a connection with somebody, whether romantically or not, but kind of got, enveloped into this grand adventure with people that became his family. So throughout the campaign, he's been very scared of losing that family. And little by little, he saw near deaths with Papa Gaston, with Terra, with all of his friends. Coral became a deity and left him forever, technically. That was a really important moment for him to decide how the next chapter of his life was going to be, in that, a family doesn't mean that just because they leave or do their own thing that they're not your family, and that the memories you had through that experience don't stay with you. So he looks around, he sees how this incredibly powerful fighter and hero like Terra settles down, decides she's going to build a mansion, she's going to protect the people of the jars and be a hero in a different way. How Zartok is going to research and find incredible new magics and secrets in this place. How Mama Sass takes initiative and just lives life the way she wants to live it, and is making a life for herself and is becoming quite a accomplished salesperson or, business entrepreneur. And he's like, I don't know what to do. In the jar, I was an entertainer, and I got with my family, with Papa Gaston and Mama Sass. We had a band, and we were pretty successful there. He's like, maybe I could be more of that. Maybe I can be an entertainer in the bigger world and make a name for myself that way. I don't have Papa Gaston or Mama Sass to be in my band to go around the world because they have their own things going on. And so I take a look at myself and I decide I'm going to let them go and maybe see what life is like for me. I feel like I've started to figure who I am, and a drow lives for a long time. So he's like, you know what I really enjoyed? I liked making these friendships and having these experiences. And with the blessing of Terra and the crew, I asked them if they would allow me to take Corellin's needle and continue that adventure and continue the legacy of the Glass Guardians and help people where I can and adventure where I can. So I take the crew that I have, and I asked Lumpen if he wants to be my helmsman, And I decide to continue being an adventurer and a glass guardian. And I kind of recruit new heroes, young people who want to experience adventure and do heroic things and show them what it's like to have a family and adventure. And then I look at my friends and my family, I give them all a hug, I tell them goodbye, and I say, this isn't the end, but I can't wait to tell you all the stories that I'm going to see and all the places I'm going to visit. And maybe I will go visit some vampires and see what life is like on that dark side of the moon. And then I go off and I become a 3rd level rogue and take swashbuckler and turn myself into a pirate with my little Alucard. And for a long time, I contemplate whether I should have Symphonia or not. And I decide, you know what? I'm going to give her a little bit more time with her freedom. And that's how my story is.
Very cool.
I think that Lumpen goes with you.
That'd be great.
He needs your moral guidance, your ethical guidance
Oh, God,
for
true.
him to continue to develop
Into a pirate.
into a pirate.
Into a pirate.
Yeah.
A good pirate.
A good pirate, like One Piece.
Like Luffy, yeah.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So Aster goes off for more adventures. I guess Gyaralos and Ansna. Gyaralos applies for a job at Mama Sass's bar, but doesn't get hired.
Who ends that?
That's funny.
Garrulous.
Oh, Garrulous.
He doesn't get the job.
There's a test run. Like she
Yeah.
lets him try it. There are so many broken glasses, and she just cannot have that.
He could be
Right.
a bouncer?
Yeah, so he takes a job instead of working in the restaurant. He takes a job as a bouncer for the restaurant. But he gets fired from that too because he lets too many people.
Yeah,
Does he
he's
want to
too
adventure
nice.
with Aster? Holy cow.
So yeah, maybe he'll see if he can go with Aster. Would Aster take him?
Of course I would take him.
All right.
My
Now-
favorite MP.
He works for free.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Are you taking Silvereye too? Just wondering.
I was going to, but if he had other things, he has a
As
life.
long as there's money, Silvereye will go.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ansna
Adventure.
is torn. On the one hand, she wants to keep an eye on Gyarados because it's just like a habit now.
yeah.
On the other hand, and then that's really tiring. So maybe she wants to do something else, but she's not sure what. Maybe she hangs out with a Googry, and maybe she becomes a priest instead of just the healer. Maybe she becomes a priest of Coral
Aw.
and helps promote her.
So
Maybe she builds
just
a temple
really-
in Benorthen.
She attaches herself to whoever's annoying.
Yeah, somebody who needs to be watched out for, watched over. Yes,
Like
Yeah.
Kukri?
Yeah.
I love a temple to Coral in Benorthen.
yeah. So she builds a temple to Coral there. Who else? So Coral.
Okay.
So I guess I'll tell you, the far off one is true to her word.
Okay.
She attempts to work with Coral to limit spellcasting and come up with a reasonable way to determine when people are allowed to have their spells, so that there aren't too many people casting too many spells, that they don't overwhelm the magical net that's been placed around this crystal sphere, and that also you don't get into a destructive competition between the two of you where you each start competing too much for worshippers and end up granting every spell. So the question is, how does Coral respond to that? Does she renew the agreement after 5 years?
Yeah. So Coral will never like the far off one. Never like her.
Mm-hmm.
But does get to a point where there's at least a level of trust. Like, sees what she's doing, grows into somewhat of her own as a god, and is more willing to trust her and go with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they do renew the contract after 5 years, but it is a little more equal than teacher student.
Sure. Yeah. You learn the ropes.
Yeah.
And the other gods are not real happy about both of you, especially the far off one, because frankly, she's a hag.
Yeah.
And they just see her as being the other. They don't like her.
So mean, Mike.
It
Right?
is.
I know.
It is.
She is literally, that is her species. She is a hag.
Technically, she's a swell person.
And she's not a great person either.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she's not outright cartoonishly evil. She's complex. And Coral gets to see some of that complexity over time.
Yeah.
But she is sort of personally nasty. in a way that makes people uncomfortable. I mean, she enjoys consuming nightmares, right?
That says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
Can I add 3 things?
Oh, okay.
I just realized that I forgot to do, and I've been wanting. I wrote it in my book. I just wanted to add that in the process of my adventures, I hope that I find that person that completes me, and maybe she's a nerdy, very forthright individual, very driven, passionate, hardworking spirit that kind of steers my more eccentricities in a more focused direction. And that person is the one that goes on these journeys with me.
Okay.
And I say that as like an homage to my real life partner.
Oh, okay.
I thought probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'd like to add that. And then I'd like to add that at some point in the adventuring, I find somebody who can break the connection
Oh.
with Seafoam Wanderer, and I remove the tattoo off my face.
Ah.
And I ask the God for forgiveness, and I don't know if she forgives me or not. But I break the connection because I can't be a man of 2 houses. And there's only one God that I follow, and that one is Coral. And so what I do is I remove this tattoo, and instead I tattoo her symbol that we made
Right.
where my heart is,
Cool.
so that I always have her close.
Eventually, Mama Sass goes and finds a dragon to kill to take to the demon realm.
Okay, sure. Yeah, maybe eventually the dragon becomes uncooperative in World 83 and they bring in Mama Sass to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's so
Terrible
cool.
help.
Yeah.
That is.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like old times.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
sharpen the swords again.
Yeah, it'll be great.
That's
Okay.
metal.
Axe and pickaxe, I guess.
Yeah.
Or pick, rather.
All right.
What is because some of the outside players and some of the people in House of Bob were gods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
sure.
Do they ever try to do anything, or do they just kind of sit in their mountain, kind of moping?
I think they just like soaking up prayers, and they don't do much more than that. They help their followers, and that's just about it.
That's about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do they begin to get more followers as the world improves?
Yeah, as the world repopulates slowly, they will in fact attract more followers. Yeah, slowly over time. What is the long term like for Coral then? Does she enjoy being a god? She changes. Being a god, whether she likes it or not, is going to change her.
She does change for sure, and she is greatly annoyed by all of the other gods. So after the 5 years are up, she does move and creates her own demiplane, if I'm allowed to make that statement. She still meets with the far off one on a regular basis, but is separated from the other gods. She goes back to the island where the Glass Guardians originally found her, creates her demiplane there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a forest, old growth, real tall trees. There's a clearing near the entrance. The clearing is, if somebody were to walk in there, strangely similar to the room Astor created in Astor's Amazing Abode.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so nice.
It's bigger, but it's decorated the same little creek or whatever it was, the water to the side. There also is a house off to the side. It's a nice house. To begin with, it's bigger. It's of a bigger size. It's similar to the house of Benorthen, and it has 8 rooms. They're decorated for different people should guests come a-calling. She communicates where she is and allows them access. But then as years pass, many, many years, one day there's no longer a room, or another room, or another room, or another room. And then one day, the house is gone entirely.
Yeah. It's tough to be a god.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. Zartok lived forever. I mean, just a little bit in there.
All
Like
right.
become a lich almost?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, you've got a lich friend.
Oh God, then yeah, I guess your room
He's-
stays.
He knows 2 immortal wizards. He's gonna figure it out.
Oh no.
I guess your room stays then.
Okay.
It's not
I'm
as
just-
sad as I originally wrote it.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's actually worse.
It's actually worse.
The one person,
It's even more sad.
the one person I didn't want to stick
Now I'm just
around.
staring at that dumb room all the time.
That's a good but sad ending. I like that a lot. That's cute.
I really like that.
I have some post-credit scenes.
Oh, okay.
Like, as the credits are going,
Sure,
there's
okay.
some short scenes and
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
Other people can do
Jump
them
in.
Okay.
as they think of some. So Zartok is walking by World 83 one day. And these are like years later or whatever.
Yeah.
He walks over to World 83, lifts the top off the jar. He casts Sending, and he says to someone inside the jar, "Why did the Scarecrow win an award? He was outstanding in his field." And then he just puts the top back on the jar. And then he walks
Hey.
away.
I thought we were
Zartok
leaving the
was a
top
doppel-
off the jar.
So Zartok was a doppelganger the whole time.
Another post-credit scene. There's a room in the wizard complex that's all the gods.
Right.
And so then one day they have like a ceremony. They unveil it, and it's like it's Coral there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so they have a nice little ceremony, and then like on his way out, everybody's done. And then Zartok looks at it. He kind of pats it on the arm and says, "Good job, kid. You did a good job." And then he leaves. So that's 2. I think we got to have a Spielach ending scene.
Oh, sure.
Oh gosh.
Just like, "Rah!" and they're
Yeah.
running away, and there's stuff on the ground chasing them, and maybe they all die or something.
I think they all find the dragon that they were looking for.
Oh, sure.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they all find the dragon, Lurvathox, and the dragon is
Was it a good dragon?
no, it's a evil
don't
white
know.
dragon,
Okay.
and
great.
yeah, so they find the dragon they've been looking for, and what's wrong with it? It's really boring or something. Like the dragon is really it's become really sedate or boring or something, and they're not interested, so they go in search of another white dragon or some other kind of dragon.
It's always greener grass.
That's right.
Yeah.
This dragon's not as
can't
cool
find
as-
the dragon you want.
Not as cool as we remembered it being. We need to go find another one. I think Tuck and Raphael find a nice female Etten, and settle down as doing their gardening on the Moonstone. I think Jeb gets along real well
There we
with
go.
all the gnomes
Oh,
in the city.
sure.
He becomes a scholar of cleanliness, giving out useful advice to people on how to do cleaning. And yeah, what else?
So he doesn't do it.
He doesn't
ever
do
make-
it. He's tired of it. He's retired.
Tara's got to try to learn like a normal job,
Oh,
like not just like hero as her job.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
She
she's
gets
still
older.
got
her
7
back-
intelligence. She's
Right.
like, what is shipping?
Tara looks over at the intern and goes, "Can you turn this into a PDF for me?"
What about the gnomes? Do we ever make amends with the gnomes that left, or do they just stay gone?
Yeah, they fled Benorth, and I think that yes, some of them maybe are okay with the eventually come to forgive you, and some of them maybe move back, and then some of them are just really grumpy permanently about all the trouble that you inadvertently brought to their little town.
sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, wedding scene.
Uh-oh.
Tara, Ethlondo.
Oh wow.
Oh, sure.
Oh man,
Sure.
curveball,
Curveball.
curveball.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Dang.
Yeah.
Cool.
And,
Wow.
you know, there's Spawn who can continue to take care of the world after her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't see
Wow.
that. All right.
Would he take your? He'd take your name, I would assume.
Yeah, Ethlondo Dane. I don't know. What's his name? I don't know.
It's just Ethlondo. It's just the one word.
Yeah, elves don't have last names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the children's are little Danes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and he talks just like Lavarian, which is a little strange.
We're
maybe
totally
for
fine
Tara.
with it.
Okay.
It's normal. Everyone talks like Lavarian. That's an elf.
Yeah.
And she liked him, and he's the one who didn't like ever hit us.
Right. Right.
So real big fan. You know.
Amazing.
right.
I love that.
That's a great twist.
I love it. It's so
Okay. Anything else?
Well, I
If-
gotta ask about. Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, wait a second. I'm still rolling.
What are you rolling?
If we're talking marriages, Mama Sass ends up with a half orc male.
Okay.
Nice.
All
I
right.
rolled for it.
All right.
It was not surprising, I guess.
Someone from Wrongthrak or
Yeah,
something.
somebody from Wrongthrak. Like,
Yeah.
there's others that she, dates, but
Sure.
that's who she ends up with.
What were you going to say, Josh?
There's 3 people from season 2, Paxton Athelflaed and the Great, the Angry,
Epilema.
the Brewing.
Yeah, I wanted to
Epilema.
know.
Do we know what happened to them, or are we going to leave those as a question mark since those are players?
We know
other
that
than
Epilema is shipping ale
We're
to
shipping ale
Mama's ass.
Yeah.
to them.
Okay.
So
And-
Athelflaed and Epilema are still running the
They're
brewery.
still running that.
Yeah, in Binghamton,
What about Paxton?
Halfling town. Paxton, I don't know what Paxton's up to. He had a long sentence he had to serve, basically like community
that's
service.
It's true.
That he is going to spend a long time serving in the Great Forest. So there's that he has to deal with, and I don't know what he does after that.
Oh, I had this question in World A3, and we would have found this out while we were in there. So was it only Arrival that he messed up?
Yes.
Was everything else fine?
Yeah, everything, basically, it was all he was able to take over was Arrival.
Okay, what a loser.
What a loser. 4
Yeah.
years.
Whoa,
Come
whoa,
on.
whoa,
With a
whoa.
bunch of goblins.
With a bunch of goblins.
Whoa.
He deserved to die. I hate him so much.
No, that's true. That's
I
fine.
should have killed him in the camp right when we saw him.
Stupid.
That wouldn't have worked.
Periodically, because he has this spell, Aster will he doesn't sleep on Corellin's Needle. Every night he throws up the Magnificent Mansion
Sure.
and he sleeps there. And periodically he will every time he sleeps, he'll sleep in each one of his friends' rooms. And they'll
Oh,
go
that's
from,
cool.
From room to
That's
room,
cool.
just so that he's always close to his family.
Yeah. But not Zartok's room.
No, even Zartok's room.
Good.
That one he practices
Heavy
hardcore metal
Yeah.
music in that room. It's
The
puts him in the
scariest room
mood.
of all.
I like Jessica's ending idea inspired from your mansion idea.
I like
that was really good.
Thanks.
Very, very nice.
Well, if no one has any other codas, any other things to add at the end here, I think then that must be the end of the story. And that, listener, means that there's nothing left but the Q&A. So that will be the next episode, the last episode of Tales from the Glass-Guarded World. It will be the Q&A episode. We'll talk to you then.